In this video, I'm going to be revealing the exact client acquisition engine that we use to book 8 to 30 qualified meetings every single month for B2B agency owners and consultants, also helping them sign up to 3 new clients a month. Now, in this video, I'm going to be revealing every single thing from how we go about generating content ideas to writing to sending the DMs and building the entire funnel so you can copy and paste for your B2B agency or consulting business. Now let's get into it. So our big example in this video will be Ravi Abuvala. So he runs a B2B agency for, basically helps people sign clients using YouTube, and he has a very good personal brand on there. So he's doing fantastic. This is going to make this video easily understandable for you. So we'll be using him as an example, showing exactly what we'll do for him if we were running his Twitter account right now. So taking a look into his content, it's obvious that he's sort of using AI or some maybe tweet content conversion to basically just maybe repurpose his YouTube video into Twitter content, or LinkedIn content to Twitter content, or Instagram to Twitter content. I don't know exactly how he's going about it, but I can tell that's what's happening there. And then when we look into the volume, it's basically about one post a day. This is freaking low if you want to get any results from Twitter, and it's disconnected from the audience. When you look into profiles like this, you can't feel some life attached to it. Your audience has to feel that okay, you're active, and if they drop a question or if they drop a comment, they're likely going to get the response, or you're even going to see it, or even open the account. Right now, it doesn't feel as such at all. And this is what we want to change. If you want to generate leads constantly on Twitter, there are a ton of things that needs to be changed. That's why I feel this is going to be the perfect example. Now let's dive into it. So our goal here is to add up to 10,000 followers for Ravi. Build an efficient audience. But efficient audience now, this is an audience that you can sell to, not just some random strangers. And sign up to 3 high-ticket clients per month without outreach. Now, let's say he charges $10,000 per client. That's at least $30,000 a month. Now, there are a few things that come into place there. One is traffic. 2 is conversion. Most people struggle at generating traffic. Only very few people struggle here because they're not even getting enough traffic to convert in the first place. Now we're going to dive into traffic, see exactly how we're going to generate more leads, more eyeballs, gain more followers for Ravi Abuvala if we were handling his content. So you can apply yourself if you're in a similar state compared to him right now. So now let's take a look at it. We want to start with top of funnel content. So now, for someone in this position who we are trying to grow his audience, gain some attention and all that, top of funnel content is going to play a very good role. Probably even up to 50% of the content. And now I want to show you examples. It's simply for getting attention, growing your audience, and getting a ton of engagement so you can gain traction on all other posts. Now let me show you examples just so you see what a top of funnel content look like. It's things like this. You'd see personal stories fall into this place too. You're not exactly proving your competence or trying to sell anything or trying to show why you're the best or some results you've gotten for clients. In this kind of case, you just want people to know and like you in this case. Just know and like you. Look at this now. This is for Kerando. He said, today's my 32nd birthday. Always incredible to be grateful here. Writing, blah, blah, blah. I've gathered thousands of ideas to help me build my writing business. Here are 32 of the best. This now, anyone in any niche who finds this valuable is going to read it. Now, this is not filtering anyone. Let's look into this one too. How to build a plan for October to actually achieve your goals. Even a 17-year-old is going to see this and then want to pay attention to it. Depends. Now, let's look into this one again. Oh, pretty much the same thing. So now, if you take a look into the engagement, look at this now, 1.6 million views. This one probably got 238,000 views. Those are the type of posts that fall into top of funnel content. Again, it's basically to gain attention, build the audience, and be sort of relatable, gather as many people as possible. And in future, you can even sell them on other offers. Okay, now we want to go into the middle of funnel content. And this kind of content is basically to prove your competence and attract as much of your ideal client as possible. And whenever they see this kind of content, they can easily tell that they can easily know who you are, what you do, how you do it, and how they can benefit from you or what you're going to gain from working with you. So now I'm going to show you examples, and this has different intentions. Sometimes you want to flip a belief, sometimes you basically want to prove your competence, sometimes you want to say something that is contradictory to what they already think, sometimes you want to debunk myths. So there are different ways this you could go about it. So, but any content that goes under things that only you, your ideal client, and competing agencies can relate to falls under middle of funnel content, which means that not any random stranger will look into it and find it relatable. Now, let's get into it. So this is one. This is what we call a lead magnet post. It's basically when you write a post structured in a way such that there's a call to action attached to it where they have to, for example, it says like and comment outbound and I will DM you XYZ. So you see now how many people opted into this. That 200 over 200 people. At least 30 people of these out of these will be a good fit for his offer. And this is the whole idea behind lead magnet post. So look at how much things he's giving out away for free. Just go and implement yourself. And if you want him to implement for you, you could just send him a DM instead. So now that's lead magnet post. That's one of the things that fall into this. So now this is Kurinalius. I know he's into the backend system for info products to help them with upsell, retention, increasing LTV, all of that. So now look into this, and he helps them add at least 6 figures. So now he's proving his competence. He's showing exactly what you can do to make more money out of your info business without signing even more clients. So now if you want to make an extra $100,000 by the end of September for your info products, do this. Everyone's addicted to new leads. Basically, it's just flipping a belief, like you have to generate more leads to get more money. But no, that's not what you need to do. So here is fixing churn, all of that. Basically proving his competence. We don't have to go into every single thing there. So now let me use myself as an example here. So signed 10 high ticket clients across 3 personal brands with less than 5,000 followers each over the last 90 days without cold outreach. So now this is all from content, right? And I have a popular idea that you don't need a huge audience to consistently sign clients from Twitter. So now, if you have an offer in active demand, but your content isn't converting readers, you may think 10 times in your follower account, getting crazy engagement, and adding a guarantee to your offer is what's going to change everything. But that's not true. So in some cases, you simply want to flip the beliefs of some of your ideal clients based on your sales score, based on conversations we have with them, or based on popular ideas in their niche. So for example, someone like Ravi now, where he's into YouTube client acquisition. So there may be a big idea that, oh, you need to have like 20,000 subscribers and you need to be getting tens of thousands of views to be able to, make $30,000 every single month from YouTube. And then you can write a post on that. Now, he actually has a client who is making an average of $50,000 a month, which is less than 3,000 subscribers, and then it breaks down how he goes about this. So that's what happens when it comes to middle of funnel content. The other things like, let me use this as an example: breakdown posts, where you create a Loom or a screen recording, breaking down some concept or sharing exactly how you go about something, or maybe auditing something. Everything here is to prove your competence, showing people how you do it, flipping a belief, writing a case study, all falls into this place. And the reason this works better or helps you build an efficient audience compared to top of funnel content is because it's only relatable to your ideal client. And when your ideal client who are in market and are trying to find someone who is most suitable to solve the problem, or achieve the goal they're looking to achieve, or however it's supposed to be structured. When they come across that content, they start to see you as that person, and they look into more and more and more. So the more you prove your competence, the higher the likelihood of them buying from you. And then if you go as deep as noting the beliefs they already have, some questions they already have in their mind, and then putting it in your content, you have a lot more chances compared to your competitors. So now look into this. This is also a lead magnet post, but I'm just going to show you the idea of a video breakdown. So sometimes it's not going to be a lead magnet post, it's just going to be posting the actual video in the content. So that's it about middle of funnel content. And now let's go into bottom of funnel content. This is basically for conversion. Now, if you're active on Twitter, you've probably seen posts like this, where someone simply just create a post sharing the offer, and then as a call to action to it. If you're interested, send me a DM. So now look into this. If you sell any B2B or consulting offer at $5,000 or above, in under 12 days will help you get XYZ, and this will get you XYZ result. DM me interested for more details. Now, let's say you post an average of 200 times a month. Yes, that's about the volume you need to be doing if you want to get good results on Twitter, or at least 150 a month, and you post only 2 bottom of funnel content every single time. This is for people who have been seeing your content, because not everyone is going to send you a DM and say, oh, they've been seeing your post and they like what you do and likely going to work with you. Only about 10% of people who are actually who find you valuable will do it. Just think about it yourself right now. There's some problems you're looking to solve in your business. You've seen some people's content who they look like they'll likely be good fit, but you've not sent them a DM, and that's not because you're interested. If they sent you a DM, you're probably going to respond. If they drop an offer post just like this one, which falls into bottom of funnel content, you're likely going to respond as well. So this is to capture the people who already have interest in your service or are actively looking for someone to solve the problem they have, which is your solution. And that kind of post basically just captures them. So by the way, if you want us to handle this completely done for you, you can click the first link in the description below. Let's see if we're a good fit. I'll walk you through step by step exactly how we're going to help you book 8 to 30 qualified meetings every single month with your ideal client without requiring more than 4 hours of your time per month. So click the link in the description below to book a call with me. And yeah, let's dive back into the video. So now let's go into the numbers so you understand exactly how this works. So now for the numbers here, I'm referring to volume in terms of content. So 4 long form posts per week, 2 top of funnel, 2 middle of funnel. So now this is to gain followers. This is to prove your competence. 2 lead magnet posts per week, up to 30 tweets per week, 30% top of funnel, 65% middle of funnel, 5% bottom of funnel, and 1 offer post per month. Sometimes we go up to 2, sometimes we go up to 3, depending on kind of the traction we're seeing in content and depending on the numbers on the back end. By the back end, I'm referring to the DM. So now, based on these numbers, the number of qualified leads you can get from this, from lead magnets, if structured well, if a lead magnet performs well, that means it gets up to at least 100 comments. 100 comments, and out of 100 comments, you're probably going to see up to 20 people who are qualified, depending on how you structure your lead magnet post. So now this is something I'm going to be diving into. I just want to walk you through what the system looks like and how it actually gets results. From lead magnet post up to 80 leads, from long forms up to 40 leads, from tweets alone up to 40 leads, from offer posts up to 10 hot ones, because these ones come from a call to action that's actually selling your offer. So now let me define a lead to you so you know what I mean. A lead in this case is someone who fits into your ideal client profile and has maybe opted in for your lead magnet, is following you, has liked your post. There's just something that shows that they've seen your content or they've engaged your content. Either they're following you, or they commented on your post, or they commented on your comment, or they liked your post. Any sort of engagement that shows that they are familiar with you, we consider them a lead, because we want to warm them up and then eventually sign them as a client. So now this is 80 plus 80, that's 160, that's plus 10, that's 190, up to 190 a month. Now we want to go into conversions. If you're getting 190 potential people that you can sign as client every single month thanks to content, how exactly would you convert these people into clients? And this is where people who are getting a good number of traffic often blow it away, blow all their effort away. Conversions happen in conversations. That's in the DMs. So if you make a lead magnet post and then you find people who are qualified, you want to start a conversation with them immediately while it's hot. If you have a follower who is qualified for your offer, you want to send them a DM. Don't wait for them to send you a DM. Now, if you get someone who is your ideal client and maybe they comment on your post or like your post, you want to take that conversation into DM and start a DM and start a DM. So now I'm going to be walking you through a few examples just so you see how we ideally go about it and how these conversations lead into book calls and signing more clients. So let me show you what the conversations actually look like. So this is for someone who has opted into your lead magnet. Some cases you could just send the lead magnet and then have a call to action attached to it. Oh, if you're interested in getting this implemented for you, or if you're interested in getting XYZ result, reply back with XYZ and we'll get to you. But the truth is that we found that it's not so effective compared to personalized ones. So that's why I'll not be using that as an example if that's something you're already familiar with. So this is one here. I say, hey, author, cool to send this over. That's the lead magnet post he opted in, and it's no longer in it. So dig what you do, by the way. And then we start the conversation, and then we drive the conversation from there, and then whatever it leads to, maybe a book call, maybe not a book call. Your goal is to start as many conversations as possible. Ideally, if you're getting a ton of traffic, I would suggest you just get a setter handling this, because you have to respond quick and you have other things to do in your business. So just get someone to handle this in place of you. Now, let me show you an even better example here. So I sent the lead magnet post that she opted in. So you wanted this. So what do you target, by the way? DTC brands or what? So you help people blow up on TikTok. This is how we go about sending DM. There's not going to be any crazy script or any template you're supposed to use that will magically get you result. Just do research on these people and then start a conversation with them, and then go a bit back and forth, see if you can actually help them. If you can't, then get them to get on the call with you. So I ideally just want you to get an appointment set to do this in place of you, because it actually takes a ton of work and you need to respond quick if you want to get results. By responding quick now, I'm referring to responding to people within 5 to 10 minutes of the response, or else you're going to be wasting a ton of leads. And sometimes we go direct. This is when we're sending DMs to lookalikes of our ideal clients who are also active on Twitter, and they likely already know. So see this one now. Say, hey Ryan, so you target local service. We have a client who targets local service businesses. So we've helped the outbound hero sign 5 on LinkedIn so far. I think it's 7 now. 2 from content and 3 from outreach. We can help you get similar results in 90 days. What a chat. Send the DM, and then we got an interesting response from this as well. So there are different ways to go about it. The only times I go straight forward is in cases whereby we have a lookalike case study, we have someone who we can reference that they likely know, and then they've shown some sort of intent, so they're likely already following me. So that's the only case you want to use this kind of DM. In other cases, I would suggest the previous example. So now that's how conversions happen. So you're sending these kind of DMs to people who opt into your lead magnets, who are following you, who like your post, comment, or have any sort of interaction with you and fit into your ICP. Just start a conversation with them. Get to know about their pain, frustration, desire. See if you can actually help them. And if you can't get them to book a call, this takes a ton of work. So ideally, just get a setter to do this in place of you, since you're busy. So now let's do conversation to conversion math. So now you're sending at least 190 DMs a month based on the number of leads we generated from content. We're assuming we generated from content. It was around this part. So yeah, qualified leads from lead magnet up to 80, from long form 40, from tweet 40, and we calculated this to be 190. So let's say we're sending DMs, 190 DMs to potential clients every single month. So we start up to 80 conversations, because of course people are going to ghost you. People are basically going to see the message and not do anything, and then you have to follow up. So you start up to 80 conversations. This might be across 30 days, because not every single one is going to respond to you immediately. So I'm saying this just so you know the expectations when you go and try to implement this yourself. Not everyone is going to respond right away, and a bunch of people would not respond at all. So at least 80 conversations, so you get at least 30 qualified. Now when you actually filter, only about 30 are actually qualified that maybe you wouldn't actually want to even work with if they book the call with you themselves. So at least 15 interested and book a call with you. From this, you can sign up to 3 clients. In fact, it could even be lower on this. You probably need only 10 book calls, because these people have actually consumed your content. These people are not strangers. You didn't go out and scrape some lead lists and then send them a DM. These are people who know you, have seen your posts, seen your case studies, and are already warmed up. So even if you have only 10 meetings from this, you could close 3. if you don't suck at closing. So now I'm highly understating the results here, but let's say you get 15 book calls and then you close 3 clients out of this. So this is exactly how it works. This is the exact volume, exact numbers that you used to book 8 to 30 qualified meetings every single month with your ideal client and close up to 3 new clients. Now again, if Ravi charges, let's say $10,000 a month, that's at least $30,000 in recurring revenue for him every single month. This is exactly how it works. Now we've talked about strategy, so you understand exactly step by step how this thing works and how the entire funnel works to sign new client. Let's go into the execution. How do we actually come about these ideas, the content ideas? How do we come about writing these tweets? How do we come about writing the long form posts, getting lead magnet ideas, and then posting all of them in such a way that it's going to actually drive traffic and then lead to conversations and then conversions? So we're starting with generating content ideas. How do we generate content ideas that help you grow your audience, build an efficient audience that you can sell to, and sign more clients? Now let's get into it. So this is Rabi Avuvela. Thanks. He already has a ton of content that we can look into, and every single one of this video can actually be repurposed into Twitter content as long as it fits. So how we close $50,000 deals, our pre-course system, how we get some, like every single one here can be turned into content, and these ones are long form content. They can be turned into up to 21 tweets in some cases, or maybe only very 10 good ones, up to 2 long forms. So this is a ton of content already. And I'm going to be showing you exactly how we go about it. We use AI in these kind of cases to generate the content ideas and help with writing, and this is something you can implement as well. So one is this. So I think this is more than 100 videos. So we have more than 100 videos. There's more than 300 plus content ideas from that content ideas, and every single one can be written in up to like 5 different ways. So another thing we want to do is competitors best performance. Who are other people like Ravi who also sell a similar offer that are already active on Twitter and gaining traction, gaining attention, and likely already signing clients? That's very important. Now you need to have a lens for someone who is likely already signing clients from Twitter. You see it from their post frequency, you see the offer post, and if it's working, people double down. That's quite easy to tell. So now what we want to do here is find people who are his competitors or likely already signing clients and look into their content, find things that are already working, and then model it for Ravi. Because if people already signal this is the kind of content they like to consume from people in the YouTube space on Twitter, so it's likely going to work for Ravi as well. So I'm going to be a bit lazy here. I'm going to be using only A-Man as the example. We can get like, ideally you want to get 5 to 7 top competitors and get as many content ideas from them as much as possible. Now look into this. Now this A-Man, he has a ton of content. He posts a ton on Twitter, but only very few get a ton of engagement. So we want to look at his content and see which one stands out, which one gets a ton of engagement. So now I think this is a lead magnet post. I'm guessing it's a lead magnet post. Yes, it is a lead magnet post. So this is something we can repurpose, and we want to actually go into details and be sure that this kind of people are the kind of people we want to attract as well. We go as deep as looking into the comment section, see the kind of people that actually opted into this lead magnet post, see the number of qualified prospects, and see if it's actually worth modeling. So this is one. This is another. All of these did well compared to his typical post. And then there's something you can do. You can get Tweet Hunter. It's an extension for Twitter. I don't have it on right now. So just basically the extension by your right hand side here. Whenever you visit someone's profile, it's going to show you the top performing post. So you don't have to go through all the stress. You just have to copy, create a swap file out of it, and then use it to generate content ideas for yourself. But this is a quick one if you can't get Tweet Hunter, or maybe you find it complex. So you just say mean underscore. So let me show you again. So I clicked on the search button there. So you click on the search button, whether you're on mobile or you're on, I don't know if it works on mobile, but I believe it works on mobile. So just click on, when you click on the search button, then input main underscore faves, then colon, put a space to it, 100. So this means that it's going to show me every tweet that got at least 100 likes. So this one got 345, this one got 32, this one got 278, this one got 233, 234. So these are both long form, these are both top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel content that did really well, and we basically just want to model them. So you can keep changing it depending on the person and how much content you actually want to copy. I wouldn't suggest doing much of it, just taking the idea and then write it in your own way. So that's two ways. So from this now, let's say we got up to 5 competitors, we're going to get at least let's say at least 5 from each person. So that's up to 25 content ideas from that. 25 content ideas from that. So now up next we have FAQs. That's frequently asked questions, and this is from prospect, existing clients, and every single one who is interested in the service. So it's a ton of things like, since it does YouTube done for you, it's like, how much is it going to cost? How much time is it going to take? How many hours does it take to shoot a video? How many videos are we going to be shooting a week? There are a bunch of questions prospects typically ask, and now you want to list every single one in order of how frequent they are asked, and then turn it into content. So if you often get prospects who say, okay, I mean, yeah, I'm fine with the idea of YouTube, but I'm not sure I have the time to be creating videos, and that's going to be the reason I'm not going to be moving forward. I thought this was going to take me only 30 minutes a week, but it looks like I'm going to be having to be sitting on my desk and shooting videos for 4 hours, and then boom, you've lost the sale. So what's going to happen in content now? So maybe your own process takes only 2 hours a month, not 4 hours a week like most people. You're going to write a whole long form going over how you do it and save them maybe 20 hours a month or whatever you're saving them right now. That's the whole idea behind content, and that's why I said in the beginning of this video that these leads are going to feel just like referrals, because you've handled every single objection, you've proved your competence so much that the only reason they wouldn't work with you is if they can't afford you. So now you want to get all of those questions. So now you're probably going to get at least 10 questions, 10 relevant questions, 10 relevant questions that you can turn into content, 10 relevant questions that you can turn into content. Now we have sales call, and this is the foundation of bottom of funnel content. You know, we talked about top of funnel to gain attention, middle of funnel to prove competence, and then bottom of funnel for conversion. I'm not calling it middle of funnel here because these kind of posts, they typically do not get almost any engagement, but it proves your competence the most, and it drives in the most leads. So now what happens in your sales call, in your sales call now? If you're watching this video, you can search me up on Twitter and send me a DM, and I'll give you the exact prompt you can use. So what you want to do is get 10 to 20, ideally up to 20 of your sales calls, and use GPT to extract, based on what prospect says, the common questions they ask you, the core beliefs, the secondary beliefs, the most common objections, their pains, desires, frustrations. Now you're going to have a list of these things. It's probably going to get up to, let's say, 50 of these, and you want to talk about every single thing in your content, or just make like the top 10, the top 10 relevant ones. So now let's say your prospects have a belief. In the case of Ravi now, let's just make up some things. Let's just think of some things now. I'm sure he already does something similar. So let's say they usually believe that you can't scale. So they have a belief that you can't scale to 100K a month without running ads. So that's a popular, without running ads. That's one belief that you found across that is common on your sales calls. In this kind of case now, this is a content idea because you have to attack this objection before you get on calls. You don't want to be going on calls and start handling a bunch of objections. So now, believe you can't scale to 100K a month without running ads. And then the bunch of content ideas that come into this. Now, you can talk about your own personal story, how you scaled from maybe 30 to 100K a month with only YouTube content and maybe in only 90 days. And then another is maybe a client example or someone else or a breakdown, or you share exactly step by step how someone can go from maybe $30,000 to $100,000 a month with YouTube content. So that's just one belief. Now that's 4 different ideas you can get from that. So from your sales call, so let's say you get your beliefs, their pains, frustrations, and desires. So now frustrations in this case now is that, oh, they really like the idea of YouTube. I mean, look at this YouTube channel. It has over 100,000 subscribers, very good thumbnails, very good. Every single thing is on pointed. You're getting good number of views now, and now they actually want to do this, but the problem is time. They don't have the time to be scripting the videos, editing the videos, or creating the thumbnail, or hiring the best person, or there are a bunch of things that go into it. Every single thing you need to list them out and turn them into content, which you're going to which when your prospect sees, they're like, oh, okay, so it's not going to take me 4 hours a month, it's probably going to take me just 30 minutes, or that I don't have to be creating 30 videos a month. I just need to be creating 4. I don't need to do shorts, and I wouldn't have to stay on camera for too long. Every single thing you put them here. So now the whole idea behind this kind of content is to call out where your ideal client is now, so such that whenever they see your content, they can see themselves, their pains being called out, their frustrations being called out, where they want to be being called out, verbatim in the exact words they use, so that whenever they don't even need to see your case studies. They've just seen your content so much that they feel you understand them. You know exactly where they are. That's the whole idea behind this sales call, and it's probably going to be one of the biggest pillars in generating content ideas and writing content for your Twitter or even LinkedIn as well. This works exactly on LinkedIn as we're doing for clients. So you get all of these things. So when your prospect visits your profile and they just scroll through 5 pieces of your content, they know you actually understand where exactly they are and where they want to be. And what you're doing there is basically just positioning yourself as what's going to take them from where they are now to where they want to be, and that's it. This is what's going to generate your content ideas. So you're probably going to have seen videos where they talk about using AI and do some generic shit, and then you're going to use that to generate ideas for content. But trust me, it's going to give you the most generative ever, and you would sign no client from that. So just look into your sales call, break everything down, get all the questions, all the pains, frustrations, desires your ideal client have, and then touch every single one in your content. Because when they see themselves in your content, they already assume you have a solution without even you presenting case studies. And then they're going to send you a DM, or they're going to look around and you are going to send them a DM, and you start a conversation, they book a call with you, and what happens then? They become a client. So that's what happens. So now, current clients request, when people sign up with you, people sign up with you for a reason and then stay with you for another reason in some cases. So now you are probably have client requests, maybe they want more from you, or they asking for this or asking for that, or a bunch of things. So based on your conversations with your ideal client, similar to the sales calls too, you just look into everything and then present them. So sometimes now we do Twitter and LinkedIn lead gen. So we do all of the go strategy content, strategy, every single thing done for you, booking, sending the DMs and booking the calls. So sometimes some clients just come in and then they want to just use Twitter to they just want to grow the audience. They're not interested in generating leads. So sometimes they just want to book more calls. They're not very interested in content. They just want to do the DMs and all. So in short, it changes over time, and then they want to spend more and want to maybe make more out of the platform because they see it's already working, or it's working and then they're already seeing maybe their ads campaign getting better, or the cold email campaign getting better due to the results we're getting for them, and they want to invest even more into it. All of these things are content ideas. All of these things are things we can put in the content to make prospects see how valuable your service actually is. So when you do this, I guarantee that even if you have only 500 followers and your prospect visits your profile for the first time, just scroll through 5 minutes for your content, into your content for 5 minutes, they would already be sold. That's the goal you want to achieve here, and this is the core pillar behind all we're doing here, generating the right content ideas. Now let's get into the next thing, and that's going to be using AI to write the content. Now take a look into this. This is how we use AI to write content. So just to make some things clear here, this is basically for assistance and to write the first draft. If you try to use AI to write all of your content, people are going to know that you're using AI to write your content, and you're going to lose engagement. People would not want to read your content anymore because it's likely going to feel like you're basically just feeding things into AI and it's writing it. And how we ideally use AI to write content is not that we just say, I want to write a post on XYZ, provide me to this. No. The only time we use AI is when we're converting from a different content source. So let's say a podcast of like 1 hour long, or from a sales call that was 30 minutes long, or from a YouTube video, or from a call. So we get those transcripts, and then we convert them into long form videos, because it's going to take a lot of time to be picking each point one by one. And so now let's get into it. So now the prompt is quite simple. You can make this a lot better, but I want to make it as simple as possible. Your Twitter or X long form analyst and ghostwriter, I'll provide you with 3 reference long form. Now this is very important if you want AI to write in some sort of style, and a very good writing style in this case. So your job is to study the length, or I didn't spell this well, formatting, writing style, tone, etc. So anytime I provide you with a YouTube video transcript, you can convert into a long form in the exact same style. Got it? So now you want to look into the response to be sure that this thing is actually getting you right, because GPT or even Claude does bullshit a ton of time. So now we're sending reference long form 1. This is one of my posts. I said don't do anything yet. Let me send reference long form 2. And then we send reference long form 2. One of my posts again, don't do anything here. Let me send reference long form 3. And then reference long form 3. This is actually for someone else. And boom. So now it's looking into it. So now the average is 30 to 45 lines, 1 to 2 sentences max. Use one of these hooks, blah, 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 blah. So now it's getting it. Now, the next thing is to provide it with a YouTube transcript, and then we turn like a YouTube video transcript, and then we turn that YouTube video transcript into a long form content. So now this is the YouTube transcript. If you don't know how I did that, this is basically me just going to one of his videos, then going into the description, I click on show transcript, and then it shows transcript here, and I basically just copy the whole thing and paste into GPT, and then it writes the content. So that's how it goes, and let's get into it. So this is 30 minutes long. 30 minutes long. It's going to take a lot of time if I said, oh, we'll watch the video and then do everything step by step. So now this is the content. Build a YouTube channel. The writing style is not bad. Honestly, I'll give this like a 4/10. A 4/10. If I read it, I can tell it's written with AI because of the writing style. So let me keep it on the 20, on the 15 lines max, and stick to one idea, one problem, one solution. So take a look at this. This is actually a lot better. A lot better. The writing is good, and It's hard to tell this was written by AI actually. And this is why you want to provide it with reference long form. So if you pay attention and you're not seeing things like this is not about X, this is not about, it's about Y. You're not seeing those things in the content. Uh, needs more meat. So now let's take this and let's try to turn it. I'll give it. Let me paste it right now and see what I'm going to rate it. It's going to be, so your YouTube isn't making money because you aren't bidding for a buyer. You talk to everyone, only solution aware. What that means, 3,000 views from non-buyers, $0. Blah blah blah. This piece is actually good, but it's not built for virality. This is a middle of funnel content, basically to prove your competence. So now want to write the hook. So your YouTube video isn't making blah blah blah. You when you want to write your hook, you want to start with some sort of credibility to give people a reason to listen to you. So now I could start with something like, I've reviewed over 1,000, or I've helped over 2,000. I've helped 2,000 plus businesses scale the business with YouTube. Let's make it simple and fast. If you have if you get a lot of views, because that's the concept of the video. If you get a lot of views on, if you get thousands of views on YouTube, but get no clients, reduce. If you get thousands. So now this has numbers. It gives people a reason to listen to you, and it has a call to action. This is a lot better hook compared to that one. This is actually going to stop a scroll compared to the previous one, because in there you're basically just starting from some sort of conversation. Like it's you're starting from the middle of a point, so you don't want to start that way. You want to give the readers a reason to listen to you, some sort of credibility, and finally a call to action. So now this is the idea here, this is the problem, and then we want to lead into the solution. So now anyone who is getting thousands of views but gets no client would read this if they find it relevant. So now YouTube video isn't making money because you paid it for, but our problem is So we want to go with what, why, how. So let's start with what. So what, why, how. So what's the problem? Let's start. Over the last 5 years of helping B2B businesses scale with YouTube, I found a number of them with clean videos with great editing getting up to 100k views. But when I speak to them, let's say 10k views, that's too much. But when I speak to them, they say they are barely they are barely getting they are barely getting client. So they're barely getting clients. Here's the problem. Here's the common problem. The post videos instead of from a video that is barely edited. So we've gone about the what the problem is, why it's a big problem, why we've gone about the why. So we want to go into the how. So I can delete this now. So now it's not going to be here's how, it's actually going to be here's what we do differently. Here's what we do differently to match the context or to match what I've been writing so far. So here's what we do different. So one, two examples. Do this for 90 days. Track your best performers and double down on them. So now how I ideally go about bottom line is that I want it to sort of match the hook. This is how we get this is how we get this is how we get clients. Or having tens of thousands of subscribers, tens of thousands of subscribers. And boom. So you can see what happened there. How I really go about this is simply just use AI for the first drafts. You write the hook. In fact, this is because I'm writing live. This could be made even up to 3 times better. And then after, let's say, 4-8 hours, I look into it, review the whole thing, and improve it a lot better. So now what's happening there, you can see there are a lot of using numbers there. So this is to make it as specific as possible and relevant, and we don't want to sound robotic. We don't want the content to be overly formatted. So you see things like this now where I'm actually just going into the point without trying to overly format the whole thing, like just bullet points like how the previous thing was. So this is what the previous thing looked like. You can see it's skimmable, just looking into numbers, and then there's some kind of there's a good idea behind it. This is not a bad writing at all, but you want to make it conversational. That's why I'm writing it this way, and you don't want people to even tell you even made the first draft with AI. So that's it. So we went to the read a very good hook, went to the what, went to the why, and then went to the how with a good call to action. And then if we want to make get clients out of this, who add the call to action, telling them to send a DM to maybe get a free lead magnet or something. So ladies and gentlemen, this is exactly how we go about creating inbound lead gen funnels for B2B business owners, help them sign clients, how we go about the DMs, how we go about writing, and doing every single thing that helps them book 8 to 30 qualified meetings every single month with their ideal client and sign up to 3 new clients every single month without doing cold outreach. So if you're a B2B business owner or agency owner or consultant looking to book 8 to 30 qualified meetings every single month with your ideal client, using Twitter or LinkedIn will help you write all of your content, build your inbound lead gen funnel, and do everything related to booking meetings with your ideal client who would almost feel like referrals for your business, so you can sign high ticket clients every single month. So if this is something you're interested in, I'm going to be putting a link in the description so you can book a call with me and I'll walk you through step by step exactly how we're going to implement this same system for your business. So thanks for watching. Bye for now.